Hello, my name is NerissaRecinos, and this is my presentation over the dangerous factors of social media and how it affects mental health. For the introduction of my project, I want to start off with saying it's about self-perception and mental health. All of us as human beings view ourselves in different lights. We all have our personal view of ourselves that we carry throughout our everyday lives. It is whether that self-perception is a good or bad one. There are many factors in our world that can lead to some of us having incredible views of ourselves. And then there are some that lead us to having a bad self-image of ourselves and become a detriment to our mental health in the long run. One of those detrimental things being social media and its usage. It is important to identify the most prominent problems of society that humans must deal with. In this new era of technology, it is no surprise that many human beings have a social media account. With this comes the harsh realities of constant comparison, self-doubt, and a bad self-esteem. It can wreck one's mental health, and it is important to know why this happens for so many of us today. In this research title, Let Me Take Another Selfie, further examination of the relation between narcissism, self-perception, and Instagram posts, it dives into the topic of social media and it affects one's self-perception when posting. One of the quotes from the author is, "Females tended to endorse more concerns regarding societal attributes about appearance." The main variables of this research was the Instagram usage, the engagement, the type of posts uploaded onto social media, and the number of participants that were actively engaging with their social media accounts frequently. When I read some of these slides, by the way, I might cut my face camera out in and out. That's just because I can't read the words on the slide, so I apologize if I do that a lot. For the results, therefore, the results reported include all 100 participants with completed data. The females tended to endorse more concerns regarding societal attitudes about appearance, and there was a trend toward a gender difference on a non-pathological narcissism, with males scoring higher. Adding on to more previous research, in the article titled Exploring the Relationship Between Frequency of Instagram Use, Exposure to Idolized Images, and Psychological Well-Being in Women, it delves into the relationship between frequent social media use and how it affects the women using it. One of the quotes from that article is, "Results showed that the frequency of Instagram use is correlated with depressive symptoms, self-esteem, general and physical appearance anxiety, and body dissatisfaction, and that the relationship between Instagram use and each of these variables is mediated by social comparison orientation." The main variables of this study was frequency of Instagram usage and its correlation of anxiety, depression, self-esteem, and body dissatisfaction. Results: the studies went on to show how social media standards and posting can have a negative impact on one's self-perception. For the rationale, I proposed this from multiple studies, including the previous two I just read about. I plan to replicate the previous Instagram study to achieve the outlook on both genders and their self-perception on social media. Excuse me. It will focus on college students and determine the conclusion overall for both genders whether social media can negatively impact one's self-perception and as to why. Frequency of social media usage and how it affects college-aged individuals, the correlation of mental health issues and how social media usage contributes to it, and that would be the mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and negative self-esteem. And the variables for my study would be the social media usage, societal norms, beauty standards, conformity, and self-image. For my hypotheses, we hypothesize that social media usage among college students is related to a prominent negative impact of one's self-perception and mental health, neither behavior being gender specific. For the second one, I propose that female college students face more negative impact in social media usage than their male college student counterparts. And finally, for the last one, alternatively, social media usage does not show a prominent negative impact on college students, either gender, regarding their mental health or self-perception. For the methodology, it will be participants, and the participants will be from college students at UFAS. The materials I plan to use is a Likert scale, 1 being always, 5 being never. Self-perception based surveys that are Likert scale based, and 1 yes or no question. Continuing on with my methodology, for the rest of my procedure, I will plan to recruit participants by email. Then I'll read their consent to them they have, and the description of what they will be participating in, and the survey details. And the surveys, they are 3 surveys regarding one's relationship with posting onto social media, what they post and how they feel about it. And this will have 2 analyses regarding the correlation between mental health, specific gender targeted, and social media usage. Then I plan to interpret all this data and present it. For my first analysis, it is a bivariate correlation. This allows me to observe the correlation between social media usage between college students and how it affects one's mental health. For the social media usage, it will be the cause, and the mental health issues that arises from this will be the effect and how it is being used frequently, the social media. And I will perform a scatter plot for the most accurate results before the correlation. For my second analysis, I will do an independent t-test. This will allow me to see the difference between the 2 gender groups and their social media usage and how it impacts each gender, specifically their mental health. The analysis is more gender specific to see if social media affects either gender more negatively than the other. It will also compare the differences in how social media impacts each gender's self-perception and mental health. For my discussion and implications, the outcome of this, I'm hoping, show if my study's variables affect college-age students and their mental health, and if it's significant. For future studies, plan to see if other variables that might affect one's mental health when using social media, the societal norms and how it affects social media. I also want to reiterate the dangers of frequent social media use, conformity, society and our peers all go with social media and how it affects our self-perception in the modern world. Technology is all around us. We can't escape social media, but it is always very important to be aware of the dangers of it and how it affects one's mental health. One's mental health always comes first. Always remember that. Thank you. And yeah, thank you for listening and watching my presentation. Thank you. Goodbye.